Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast. I'm your host, Michael Luke, joined by the great Jason Shear. Hello, Jason Shear. It has been a couple hours since I've seen you.
You almost hit me in the parking lot.
No. This is not true. You are a terrible driver, and let's be honest, that was awful.
Let's be honest here. We were in a parking lot, and we both came around the corner way too fast, and we almost hit each other.
But I was in my lane. You were not.
No, it's not true. That's not true.
All right, we will get back to that. All right, but anyways, we've got a lot to get to this show. A lot to get to. The back of the A comments coming in hot and heavy already. Yes. All right, so we're going to talk about Arizona football, obviously playing New Mexico this week. We're going to talk about positions that Arizona is deep at. We are going to also talk a little bit about this phony baloney depth chart that we are going with. But the great Kevin Thomas the prodigious Kevin Thomas was able to pull this up. So we will talk about this depth chart because there's a lot of stuff on here that makes no sense. So, and then we're going to get to importance of a fast start for U of A, preview the game, everything. But let's look at this depth chart, and we're going to tell you what's crap and what isn't. All right, now let's start with the special teams first. The special teams. Okay. There's a couple of things. Jack Luttrell is not going to be returning punts. I do not know why he is on there. That is phony baloney. That is crap, Sheer.
The only thing I could think of is why Luttrell, first of all, he didn't return one punt that we saw. But the only reason I could think is if they give Patterson the kickoff and he's the starting wide receiver. So they're like, you know what? We don't want him to return punts. But either then, I don't know why it would be Luttrell. That's kind of strange to me.
Have Pham do it.
Yeah, they tried out like a bunch of guys. I never saw, well, keep in mind, Luttrell missed like 5 practices, but I never saw him return anything.
All right, so we already are going with that. We already believe that is phony baloney. All right, now let's go to the defensive side, Mr. Kevin Thomas. If we can pull this up. All right, now this is interesting. Ty definitely going to start. It's not an or with Sterling Lane, although Sterling Lane has performed, I think, admirably. Trey Smith, obviously, starter. Isaiah Johnson, but Sheer, there's something here that everybody is talking about. Chuba Muai, by the way, is listed as a backup. What say you?
Yeah, so a few things. Ty is going to start. I think the Sterling Lane thing is a reward because Sterling Lane had the best camp he's had at Arizona. Mm-hmm. So I think part of it is like, you know what? You played well. We'll name you. But Ty took every 1 rep, barring injury. The only thing I could think of again with Isaiah and Chuba is they want to go one big, one small, you know, which I guess makes sense. But I go back to what we saw during camp. Eyes don't lie, and it was always Chuba and Isaiah Johnson.
Yeah, I think this is a lot of sleight of hand by Brent Brennan, just trying to be a little tricky here, trying to be a trickster.
And I'll say this: I don't really care that Chuba is listed too because he's still going to play a ton.
Right.
But even like the other DL line, like Darton had a really good last week and a half. Stanley barely started. Bear Anderson is hurt. I'm not breaking news here. Desiree, the AD, posted a picture, and Bear Anderson's on a scooter with his leg in a cast, so he's not even playing this weekend, barring a miraculous recovery.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there's some gamesmanship going on, but it's
all right. Now let's if you could pull the defensive depth chart up again, Mr. Kevin Thomas, that would be great.
There's another guy that's on there also. That's not on there. If we're talking D linemen, we both agree. The fact that Lance Kennelly is on there is just not on there. It's just a flat out lie.
That was the one that I really don't understand because I can guarantee you that he is ahead of some of these people that are on there. I don't get that one.
Unless he suffered a season-ending injury that we don't know about. Like, you never know, right? Maybe that's the reason. Maybe we'll find out that's the reason because I know Akina's going to get asked tomorrow. he is the straight up backup to Trey Smith. 100%.
He will be asked tomorrow, as he should be asked tomorrow. Also, with Marquise Groves Killebrew, our guy, he locked down that other starting cornerback position. Very excited to see what he can do this year. There's a lot of expectations on him, Sheer.
Yeah, and he won the starting job quick, man. Like there was, we saw him for 2 practices and we said, well, this isn't a competition. And there's a few positions where you're like, that was going to be a competition. It wasn't. Very clearly, he is the second best cornerback on this roster.
Okay, now let's go to the offensive side of the football, Mr. Kevin Thomas. So here we go. Teteroa McMillan, flanked by Devin Wyatt. Devin Wyatt had a very solid camp.
Hyatt.
I mean Wyatt. Yeah, sorry. I've been watching this thing on Netflix about Wyatt Earp. Sorry about that. Jeremiah, it's very good, by the way. Anybody out there should watch it. Then you got Jeremiah Patterson. He's going to start. Rhino. Then you got Wendell Moe. You got Josh Baker. Ryan Stewart. Ryan Stewart's going to be fascinating in all of this year because, again, Leif obviously is dealing with some stuff. But Ryan Stewart, this is going to be his opportunity. He's played in the past, but he gets hurt. You got to be able to stay healthy.
Yeah. Couple things, because I see the questions. Joseph said Hyatt over AJ is going to bother me. It shouldn't. Hyatt was very clearly the second best receiver behind T-Mac on the outside. He had a very good camp. I like AJ Jones. He dropped too many passes at times. He needs to get more consistent. I think he'll play, but Hyatt was really good. Romello Murphy was outside in the slot. Obviously, they found the slot. Ryan Stewart is interesting to me. The San Jose State guy, when Stewart committed to Arizona, said if it wasn't for injury, he would have started every game of his career at San Jose State.
Right.
Like would have had 30 starts under the belt. They like him a lot. From what I understand, and I think I'm cool saying this, Leif is going to ramp up a comeback possibility here.
Okay. All right.
I can't see any way he starts this weekend.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
But giving him the oar is kind of to me saying, look, we still love you. You're still on this team, and kind of that. Ryan Stewart is very clearly going to start, though. There's a few other interesting things on the offensive depth chart, too.
I'm also very excited. Kean Burnett, clearly the starter. I think Kean Burnett is going to have a monster season. And everybody out there, it is not Keon. It is Kean. Get used to it. Kean Burnett. Kean Burnett will be in the NFL in a couple years.
Yeah, clear starter. And you could make a case that he entered camp as a third tight end on the depth chart.
Right.
And by the end of the third practice, he was number 1. At that position, I'm a little surprised that Sam Olsen is ahead of Roberto Miranda, but I also don't care because those 3 are all playing. They're going to go 2 tight end sets and all that. They're going to play quite a bit at the tight end position. They're going to rotate. They're doing, I can't go into the details, obviously. They're doing some really cool and unique stuff with the tight ends. It is a major part of this offense.
By the way, Andrew Blejo says Servite High School with 4 starters is impressive. Yes, it is impressive. I'm just ready to rock and roll. I think this team, and honestly, we're going to get this, we're going to talk about this more throughout the show. I think the defense is, I think the defense is going to be better than people think. I really do. You watched Brent Brennan today. Brent Brennan was talking about the defensive line and everything that goes into it. And he said, we got a lot of players on here. We got a lot of talent. Boom.
Dwayne Aquina and Brent Brennan have both said that the defensive line is going to be the surprise of the team. Not just the defense, the team.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I don't mind the defense. Like, when you look at the depth chart,
it's not bad.
It's not like I like Darton, Bear Anderson when he's healthy. I like Johnson. I think Malota had a nice camp. Trey Smith, I don't care that Kennelly isn't listed. One guy that I wanted to mention before at linebacker, even though he's the backup to Tay Brown, Jarrett Small looked really good in that last week and a half. Had a pick, forced fumbles. He's going to play, in my opinion, at some point.
Yes, exactly. Now, you could bring back, imagine Mason Graham on this team, the other Servite one that Jed Fish did not want, by the way.
Mike tried to get Mason Graham on this team.
I did everything I could. Oh, Justice Somerset. Justice Somerset is definitely the fastest person in this chat. I can guarantee you this. To me, the depth chart to the staff is just a formality. They're going to play the best players. Agreed. Hey, let me ask you this, Sheer. Is Justice Somerset faster than everybody on this team?
I'm pretty fast, Mike. I run like a 15-2.
Yeah, no, I know exactly. Don't worry. We are going to get to Smelly, Rainy, Seattle, and that depth chart because there were some.
You think Justice is faster than Speedy?
No, but I think he can jump higher than Speedy. I'll
Can
put it
we
to you.
arrange that? Can we
Oh,
arrange like an
we should.
athletic competition?
That would be really, really good. Yes, I actually like that idea. Maybe we will do that. We'll do it for charity, and then Sheer and I will run for the second place for the silver medal.
Yeah, right.
Okay. But we will get to that. Do not worry. Now, New Mexico, they suck. Arizona needs to beat the snot out of New Mexico. I do not care what I do not. It's a 30-point spread. The only thing I don't want is this. Brent Brennan said, he goes, the most important thing is to just win. And then I said, well, beyond just that, you need to beat the crap out of them. You need to be able to beat them. They suck.
So I thought that the spread, the 30.5, last week I said it's large. 30.5 is a large spread.
Right.
And then I watched their game against Montana State, and I think there's some things that people need to realize. Like New Mexico only had 320 yards of total offense.
Right.
2 of their touchdowns were defensive. They couldn't stop the run in the slightest. I mean, had no resistance. Arizona should be able to run for 300 yards against this team.
Well, sure. Montana State, 47 carries for 362 yards. Is that good? Is that bad?
Yeah, and like what do they have passing? Like nothing, right?
Right, exactly. So it's not
like
good.
I mean, this is a game where Cole Tenenbaum should be in the fourth quarter. Speedy and Riscano are getting the carries. You can rest some guys because you want to make sure everyone's healthy for Kansas State and all that. Arizona should kick the crap out of this team.
Yes. Now, Mr. Tyler Warden says we're getting like 4 picks this week. Yes. That also means, too, that if Tacario Davis has the ball thrown to him, catch it this year.
Dude, do you know that, like, to Dan Pierce's credit, because when you watch him throw, they're all ducks.
From Tucson, a Tucson native, by the way.
But he has yet to throw a pick.
Interesting.
In his career, he has not thrown a pick.
So he's basically the. I was going to say, is he Gunner Cruz?
If Jet Sims could throw, he'd be Devon Dampier.
Ooh, interesting.
Dampier will throw a pick, though. That is my prediction. The pick comes this week.
Yes, I would agree with that as well. As 30-point favorites, we should be playing some of the reserves. Yes, I do agree with you on that one. Now. A couple other things that we need to address first. Oh, everybody asking about Ja'Cory Crosky-Merritt. This merits a mention. I think with Ja'Cory Crosky-Merritt that it is going to be listen, I think he's going to be awesome. I think it's very clear that he is the best running back on this roster. I think that you could see that. But I think with Ja'Cory Crosky-Merritt, he's going to still split time. And I think that's what people need to understand. Quali Conley, out of loyalty, out of being a good football player, is going to get carries. Period. Point blank. You don't rush for 2,000 yards at San Jose State and come here and say, yeah, I'm good, not playing my last year.
First of all, very cool of Zoe to list all the running backs at Orr. They're not.
I thought that was cool.
I thought it was pretty cool because he wants to play them all and he wants there to be competition. Yeah, like people are saying Ja'Cory is going to run for 250. He won't. He'll run. I think he'll get 100. But then you got to realize, like, they're going to give other dudes carries. Like, there's a good chance. It would not surprise me if Ja'Cory and Quali went for 100 each. I think that is more possible than, like, Ja'Cory going for 200.
And people, we need to talk about, I think, we've gotten very, very excited about JCM, and we should, but we also need to give Quali Conley a lot of love here. Quali Conley is good. Quali Conley is a Brian Jeffries said this the other day. He said, I don't know entirely that they're the same kind of player, he said, but there's a little bit of Michael Wiley to him. He's just solid across the board. He's not a burner, but he's solid across the board. If JCM were to ever go down for an extended length of time, you would definitely be more than okay with Quali Conley getting carries. This is true, Sheer.
Yeah, I'm cool with Quali for sure. And actually, I like the Michael Wiley comparison because I think Conley is the best pass catcher out of the bunch. Yeah, it's a nice problem to have, right? Like, it's interesting. It's like if you're Zoe, if you're the coaching staff, how am I going to make all these guys happy? But you'd rather it be like, how am I going to make all these guys happy than, man, I'm not happy giving any of these guys carries.
You know what? Also, I think a lot of these people have to keep an eye on is Sanderson Ford.
Yes.
Here's the deal with Sanderson Ford. I think you're thinking about Ja'Cory Crosky-Merritt, or you're thinking about Quali Conley, and you're like, man, Those guys would look really, really good in a big pickup truck. Yes, they would. Sanderson Ford says, come to us. And on top of that, get 0% for 36 months OAC from Ford Credit. See dealer for details. Sheer, you would look amazing in a Sanderson Ford.
I do. I would, and I do.
Yes, you would look absolutely fantastic in a Sanderson Ford. Go ahead and check it out. Again, you will thank me later. Also, as we all know, the Starliner Diner is there. Very good stuff. I like eating. Sheer likes eating. Check out all of it. Again, Sanderson Ford, and is a let's say a proud partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Shop the Sanderson Ford payoff sale with no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsense. Check it out. Also, Shady Rays. Listen, U of A SIDs, they all have Shady Rays. We have pictures of this. Kevin Thomas, if you could bring up the great Brent Gleason with this Shady Rays picture, I think, this could be you. Check it out. Exclusively for our listeners. You can be just like Brent Gleason. Shady Rays giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use code PHNX for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Sheer, you would look also incredibly sexy in Shady Rays.
I need to order them. You have my word. I will be getting them. I know I was going to say it the other day.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, I've got something else for Sheer that's going to be coming in the next month, but you do not get to know all about this out there, everybody.
I know, and it was very shocking and exciting.
And exciting at the same time. Shady Rays, check it out, though. You will thank me later on this. Okay, now, we'll get back to New Mexico and why they aren't very good in a second. But first, let's talk about smelly, rainy Seattle for a few minutes. The depth chart was released. There were some people on there that should have stuck around. I need to preface this by saying I very much like their families and everything. Kevin Green Jr., nowhere to be found on the depth chart.
I just found something out too. I didn't realize Fish just said this at the presser a little bit ago. He's hurt. He's out till mid-October.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. All right.
So,
okay. Well, we wish speedy recovery.
Yeah, we like these guys. The only one we don't like.
Price Hawk I don't like, but the other one's totally cool.
And I think we're in line with most. It's not personal. It's just there's guys that handle things in certain ways completely incorrectly, and Ephesians could not have handled that more poorly than he did. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Couldn't have handled it worse. Now, Deuce Davis, I like Deuce Davis a lot. I like his family a great deal. He is probably going to redshirt this season as well. He would have played a lot at Arizona this year. He would have pushed for a starting position here at Arizona. That's one we wish we could have got back, but it is what it is. Jed Fish will sell anything to anybody, so that's it. Now where
Price Hawk was the one that sticks out.
What's that? Oh, the Orr. That
Orr surprises me.
That really now Isaiah Ward got to give it. He's starting, so that's
Anthony Ward listed on the depth chart.
What's that?
Weird. Anthony Ward is listed as a third linebacker. Isaiah's brother. That's weird.
That is weird. I do not get it. But again, either way, you guys have fun up in smelly, rainy Seattle. It is much better down.
That's a good question by Pacifico Light, Mike.
What's that? The question is, could NAU beat New Mexico?
I don't think so. I think NAU's worse than New Mexico.
Ooh, well, again, that's why Arizona here's the thing I keep coming back to with this game against New Mexico. You just absolutely need to beat the crap out of them. This isn't one of these things. I can't have it be 17-7 going into the fourth quarter or anything like that. You need to beat them. You need to make
I already have the score in my head. It needs to be like 42-10.
42-10. I'm fine with that. Yes,
they can't score. Your defense, their offense is not very good. 42 could be more, but you're pulling the guys on offense for the fourth quarter, that type of deal.
I am totally okay with this. Now, Sheer, this is something that I thought about a little bit earlier. Everybody was talking about the depth chart and everything for Arizona, and you get guys like Jay Merck, who we actually like. He's wrong on every single thing that he puts out there, but he's actually a pretty cool dude. But Jay Merck's talking about how, Arizona has no depth across the board. Jay Merck is wrong. There are positions where Arizona maybe doesn't have great depth, but let's talk a little bit about these positions where Arizona does have great depth. First of all, running back. Arizona's got 4 guys that can play, period, point blank. Sure, you agree with this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wide receivers. I have no concerns about the wide receivers. I know you lost some talent. I don't care. There is a lot of talent there at that wide receiver position.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple wide receivers, like someone mentioned, that aren't even listed that I'd feel fine. I would feel fine with AJ Jones and Rex Haynes and multiple other receivers that aren't even listed on the depth chart.
Also, by the way, I've got a really good picture that some people think is me, but Justin Spears sent this, and I'm going to send this to Kevin Thomas right now so we could possibly get this on the show. Also, at the offensive line, Kevin Thomas, if you could bring that off the depth chart again up on the offense, I would love to talk about this for a second. Okay, so here's what you got, and I sent that to you. Stovall, our guy Stovall has been solid in camp. So he's your backup center. You've got Deuced. Obviously, the Deuce boost is behind Wendell Moy. He hasn't looked bad. I will say this. If Rhino goes down, I do not feel great about Michael Wooten. That is what it is. I also don't feel great about Lado, but overall, it's not a poor unit. How about that?
Yeah, I feel fine with Wooten based on what I saw in camp. He's not healthy right now. I don't know his status for this weekend, but he looked decent. I think Matthew Lotto is a non-starter for me. Can't put him in the game. Can't do it. No disrespect to the kid. He's a true freshman. I'm not trying to say he's a bad player or anything. He is not ready. Are you drinking with the six-pack thing still attached?
Yeah, I am. I'm trying to save plastic.
But Lotto's not ready. They need Tylen. They need Tylen Gonzalez to step up and be better.
Yeah. So again, there are some legitimate, but that's the only position. That's the only position unit on the offense I have any concerns about the depth. Tight end, awesome. Listen, I mean, if Cole Tannenbaum goes into the game, then it is what it is. Although I don't think he's going to stink. I'll put it to you like this. I like
Cole, and I will say this also. I think it says a lot that the only backup quarterback listed on the depth chart is Cole. I think that is not an accident.
Also, other thing that we need to be very clear about on this show, because we are beacons of truth during an uncertain time, and we are a light on a shiny hill. We just are. If you're a parent and you think your kid's going to start or get the backup job, and he doesn't get the backup job, you know what the dumbest thing you can possibly do is go on Shear's board and make an entire post about something that nobody's even talking about and nobody's going to agree with. Everybody knows who you are at that point. Shear, you would agree with this?
Yes. I don't like when parents in general go public with their disdain for something. Yeah. Even it's stupid.
Yeah, I don't get it either. And but now on the defensive side of the football, and Kevin Thomas, let me know when you have this picture ready, because we will. I'm gonna have a great time with this picture. It looks fantastic. Also, now on the defensive side of the football, the secondary, I have no concerns about the secondary at this point. The way that Marquise Groves Killebrew took care of business, this was. I'm very comfortable with him. I don't love if you have to play Freeney, but overall, you got 4 or 5 safeties that can all play. You got 3 corners you all know are good. Boom, bada bing, bada boom, Shear.
Yeah, I'm fine with the secondary. I trust Dwayne Aquina. I know
the white guy.
Yeah, I trust him. Jack Luttrell is legitimately in there. I mean, he's not going to be better than Dalton or Gunner, obviously. I know people are wondering on the depth chart, he's ahead of Genesis. I think it's because Genesis could play, he's going to play star. He's going to play safety. He's going to play, wherever. I'm not worried about that. I wouldn't read a ton into that. I don't. They're going to play a lot of dollar package to get Genesis on this field as much as possible.
Yes, exactly. Genesis is going to play a lot. Now, listen, there's a lot of people that have told me in the past that I probably should be a football player, and I would look really good with a tattoo. We're going to post this right now, Kevin Thomas. And people, do you think this is me? Check this out. Is that me, Jason Shear?
He's got a tat on his back
that says Luke. How cool is that, Mike? That is amazing.
That's big too.
Now that is big. Do you
think the size of that dude?
No, he's massive. He's going to be on scholarship by this time next year.
Well, everyone is. So yes, Mike.
Yes, exactly. But does that not look like me?
I think you're bigger.
Yeah, I think I'm bigger as well. We'll listen. We'll listen. Yeah, and it's also Mr. Tyler Warden says it's mind-blowing that he's only 18. Yes, I would agree with you.
Like, have you considered a back tattoo? Maybe Luke, but a little lower.
Nah, I don't like tattoos. Aren't my thing. I don't like tattoos.
I think you look tough. A little 520 right here.
Oh no, exactly. I told you about the kid at the gym that got the half wing tattoo on his forehead.
Oh, perfect.
All right, real quick, and then I got to get back. We get back to
Eduardo across the back.
Yeah, no, this guy got this kid. He's got to be like 19. He shows up to the gym and he's got a wing that is covering half of his forehead, but only half of his forehead. And then his buddy comes in here. And I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, what is just a terrible life decision you've just made. And then his buddy comes in there, who's got to be like 19 or 20, and he says, dude, that looks righteous, man. He said, and then he's like, I think you should get the rest of the forehead done as well. And then the guy's like, yeah, I'm thinking about it as well. So listen, if you're gonna get the wing on your forehead, just go the whole way. I guess that's what I would say. Period. That Caden Luke tattoo looks good. Now, at linebacker, you got Jacob Manu. Jacob Manu's going to be calling the plays, but it's going to be interesting to see if somebody does emerge outside of Jacob Manu that's a true linebacker here.
I like Tay Brown. I think Tay Brown would be. I don't think there's a superstar. How about that? But I think Tay Brown is consistent enough. I think Jared Small's going to have a nice year. I just think that Manu is a superstar, and there's not really another superstar linebacker because there really isn't on most teams. But
what? Let me ask you this, Skier.
Okay.
Thanks. Why don't people understand that Jacob Manu is the best defensive player on this team, and he's probably one of the 3 best football players on this team? Why do people not understand this?
Because I think a lot of times people kind of conflate NFL possibilities. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you're asking me the best NFL prospects on defense, Sicario's better. If you're asking me who I would draft to start, my team, it'd be Manu.
Right, I get it, but that's the point, though. No, but here's my other thing. Noah Fifita is not a great NFL prospect. People know how good Noah Fifita is, though. That is what annoys me. I do not get this, Sheer. It annoys me. Great deal. Now with let's see here. Tattoos. Kobe Thiel, the great Kobe Thiel, says to Jason Shear, if I get Wildcat Authority tattooed on my forehead, can I get a lifetime membership? Yes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes, and not only that, I think that you might give his friend a lifetime membership as well. A Wildcat Authority tattoo.
Yeah, sure.
All right,
absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so we will leave it at that. Then on the defensive line, again, I think it's very interesting when Brent Brennan was talking about the defense. And he said, yeah, I think we're going to surprise some people on the D-line. That's the thing, Sheer, is yes, you get some putzes that are like, this is really, it's an unproven unit, all of this. I get all of that, but there's talent there. We have seen in the past where there has been no talent and it has been unproven as well. There is talent there. Check. You agree with this, Sheer? This is true.
Yeah, there's plenty of talent on the defensive line. Now, you can make questions, how is it going to carry over, health, all that, but when I look at the starting defensive line, I know Ty's health is good. I know Darton and Bear Anderson are good. I know Isaiah Johnson and Chuba are good. Like, I know Trey Smith is good. I know that the majority of the defensive line is good. Again, if you bring up depth, I totally get it. But as a starting unit, I'm perfectly cool with what they have now.
Okay, Kilroy says, and this question for Skier, as I was not there, how was the new Arizona Stadium food?
It was good. I enjoyed it.
All right, was
the elote bites were the star.
Was it scrumptious?
It was scrumptious, Mike. Mike and I have had some experiences with the media meals. I'm very excited to see.
I'm very excited.
I know that Enzer told me that he personally was responsible for upgrading last year. I'm curious to see what they look like this year.
Yeah, but you complained all season last year about the food. You and Shelby, you didn't like.
No, there were some that were good. Mike, at one point there was a raw hamburger.
True.
I'll never forget. I threw it out. You ate it, and you spent the rest of your night on the toilet.
Well, no, I mean, but that's yeah, I don't know that that's true. But Jack Murphy also liked my. Jack Murphy also
that is
liked.
True.
Yes. Now, Andrew Blayo says, "How about we upgrade? How about we upgrade the actual stadium? Look at that chestnut checkers there, Andrew. Chestnut checkers.
That's not happening anytime soon."
Okay, Doug Hooper says, all right, we need to have a disclaimer, just like Eric Ruby is the disclaimer now for the PHNX Diehard. We need to have a Justin Flowe disclaimer at this point. Sheer, now you're on the clock. Doug Hooper says, would really like to better understand Justin Flowe, please.
All right. Can we make sure we record this so we can post it once a day?
Kevin Thomas, this is going to be on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday show. Jason Sheer, you have the mic. It is yours.
Justin Flowe is a one-dimensional player, as pretty much described by Danny Gonzalez. They have to fit him in a space in which he can succeed. In his case, it is as a pass rusher. He cannot cover for whatever reason. He is not better than the guys ahead of him. Danny Gonzalez is going to find a role for him, but it'll never be a major role. However, he's going to be on every special teams unit, and the feeling is that he could be a star because literally all he wants to do is sprint and go tackle the guy that catches the kick or the punt. And he can do that.
Could he be somebody that actually gets an NFL career out of being a special teams ace?
He could literally be the best gunner in the country. I'm completely serious.
And then at that point, if he's on an NFL roster next year as a special teams player, he wins.
Yeah, I completely mean it. Like he is fast. He wants to kill people. We saw him block a punt in practice. It's the only block punt the entire fall camp, and it was all him. Like, he's going to be a stud on special teams as a pure linebacker.
Leaves a little bit to be desired.
I think if you could get like 3 sacks out of him throughout the year, I think you're okay with that.
Oh, I mean, if you get 3 sacks out of him, then sign me up for 3. I mean, sign me up for
sign Mike up for all the sacks.
Yeah, like Ben One White. Ben One White was talking about, we got to give Ben One White some credit here. Ben One White was talking about all the different players, all the different guys on the team that he could see them having some big sack seasons. And the first one that he talked about was Justin Flowe. He thought that Justin Flowe could have a big sack season. I don't necessarily see it, but 3 or 4, maybe.
I think in an ideal world, collecting sacks and filling holes is just what Ben wants to see from Justin Flowe.
We'll find out, but either way, it was an interesting point that he did make. Now, one thing that we do not need to worry about is Circle K. Did you see that photo shoot at Circle K? It was called Mike Luke Porn, basically, was what it was called on your
That is tell me that's not one of the top 5 pictures you've ever seen in your life.
All right, so the players at the U of A, on the U of A basketball team, they were all taking photo shoots at that Circle K, and that is the GOAT Circle K, the one on 6th Street. That one is amazing, that Circle K.
Yes.
I mean, It was. And did you see KJ Lewis bringing in his, like, $300,000 Louis V bag?
Yeah, we need one of those. We should get, like, can we afford it? Is that an NIL thing? We need NIL.
I don't know. Should I carry around a little? Well, either way, Circle K.
I would love getting Gucci glasses, by the way. I saw them at Costco the other day, and they were sick, and I might get them.
My girlfriend has, like, Michael Kors glasses that are very, much, much better than things that I wear. These are not cool.
Have you gotten her Shady Rays yet?
I have not gotten her Shady Rays, no, but she has very, very good sunglasses. So I will not. If it is not broke, don't fix it. But just like Jason Shearer, you can join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions do apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. All right, and also, Shearer, chicken and pickle, my friend. Now, listen, the great Jacob Franklin actually texted me during this saying, how cute is this? It was a picture of us. Jacob Franklin, kind of a jerk. And we did not want us to sit with him at Chicken and Pickle, mainly because Chicken and Pickle is where the cool kids hang out. Sheer, this is true. He did not view us as one of the cool kids.
Yeah, I'm glad he's gone after that.
Yeah, you know what? We have upgraded to the prodigious Kevin Thomas, who is a massive hit on the Wildcat Authority message board. This is true, Sheer.
Absolutely. I'm laughing. When you're done with the ad read, ask me why I'm laughing.
Okay. Head to chickenandpickle.com to see all the fun you can have at their Glendale location. Feel free to touch on a few. Oh, no, that's not right. Our outdoor and indoor entertainment complex includes a casual chef-driven restaurant and sports bar that boasts pickleball courts, a variety of yard games, all kinds of really good stuff. Check it out. Chicken and Pickle. All right, Shearer, what were you saying?
They are announcing a bunch of additions to the football program and off the field roles. And the new recruiting coordinator, he helps with on-campus stuff and all that, is
Ben One White.
Dwayne Akina's son.
Oh.
Kamali Akina. Not an old white guy, a young, very clear Hawaiian.
Yes, no, exactly. I was going to say not an old white guy. So, again, we're bringing in a younger white guy. How about that?
Yeah.
Very good stuff. Dwayne Akina, he deserves it. Dwayne Akina is the
Kamali
man.
Akina.
Yes, he also, if I'm not mistaken, I think he played football here at Mountain View, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong on that. I think he did. I think he did.
I don't think he did.
I am almost positive he did. I'm almost positive that there was a Akina's son that played at.
It wasn't him though. He went to Hawaii for college, and then he played at St. Francis.
All right, there's one Yes, Andrew Blejo. Yes. There wasn't Akina though that played at Mountain View.
Yeah.
Maybe Keona Akina or something like that. That's a great name, Keona Akina. I like that name.
Aurora Shear goes to Mountain View.
Oh, I mean, Doug. I mean, greatness recognizes greatness. Now, all right. One thing that I am looking at though, because again, the thing here on the AZ Wildcats podcast is we do not try to blow smoke. We try to tell you exactly what is going on, and with this team, I expect Arizona to beat NAU and New Mexico. Sheer, you would agree with this?
I would. If not, we're actually not going to have a show next week. We're just going to cancel everything.
Correct. But I'm going to say this until I am blue or red in the face, whichever one. Arizona needs to go 3-1. I would prefer that you beat Utah, but I can't have you go 0-2, which leads me into my next point that I'm going to make here in a second, Sheer. You got to split one of those games on the road, in my opinion, and if you win both of them, then everybody's getting back the A tattoos.
I've listed what this looks like for me. I've talked about it on other radios because they asked me what the key stretch is. 2-0, we're talking college football playoff. Realistically, not just, us blowing smoke, all that. 1-1, I'm cool. We're good. Arizona's still in shape. 0-2, bummer. You're putting a lot of pressure on yourself for the rest of the season.
All right, now, I saw
Michael. Arizona's a top 10 team.
Now, I want to ask you, and we're going to talk about this more tomorrow, but I saw this. Michael Lev had an article, and by the way, I saw Michael Lev at First Watch with his.
He told me.
Family.
He brought that up to me.
Yes. It was very nice. I said hello, Michael Lev. I said I'm Michael Luke. Nice to meet you. But he had an article out there basically saying that Arizona erred in not engaging the fans. I agree with him on this. I think that when we've seen this all the time. And again, if Arizona wins, it does not matter. I get all of that. If Arizona wins, it does not matter. But listen, we see this all the time, though, where, if Arizona goes 0-2 and the fans stop showing up and they're like, well, basketball season, you didn't do anything to really give yourself any, margin for error on this. I don't understand programs that do not try to market themselves when they don't sell themselves, Sheer. Tell me where I'm wrong.
Okay, so I agree with you, but here's the but, and I think there's some context needed here. For multiple reasons, each one probably has a different one. The marketing department at Arizona pretty much has not existed in the last month. People have quit. People have been let go, whatever. So I think that Brent Brennan has the mindset where as a head coach, it's not his job to promote. It's those people's job to promote. But the problem is those people didn't exist. And so there wasn't a happy medium. It was just flat out, we didn't promote the program. So I agree that the program wasn't promoted enough, but I also think there's a reason for it.
Well, right. But also, so who do you put that on then?
Arizona.
Okay,
I don't put that on Brennan. I don't.
No, I don't put it on Brennan either, but I'm saying that the decision from the athletic department to not promote this team.
Yes.
And again, but here's where it's frustrating, though, for me a little bit. There's a lot of really, really good stories on this team. Noah Fifita, Tedroa McMillan. There's a lot. Why in the world would you not at least, yes, and Mr. Tyler Warden says, totally understand that, but at least tweet out it's a whiteout the week of the game? Things like that, sheer little things.
Oh, no, I agree. I completely agree. It should have been promoted more. I think that people are also so used to the Jed Fish approach, which I don't think was needed. But, yeah. But then again, and I'm sure Brent Brennan would say, and Desiree would say, our season tickets are the most ever.
Yeah. Now, listen, Back the A-Ray says, I don't like the lack of interaction, but if I was tasked with the workload that Swaggy B got, number one priority is the team. We are used to Fish being looking for any camera that he can find. This is very true. And, up in smelly, rainy Seattle, the camera lens gets very condensed. How about that?
And with the first game, I would have hoped that there was more advertising this week. More promotion. The fact that it's a whiteout should absolutely have already been tweeted out again. Besides, hey, here's the color coordination. But and there's some small things. Season ticket holders, I believe, did not get a gift for the first time in years. It's the flow is kind of off. in the preseason.
Right.
Maybe it'll change. We'll see.
I'm also going to be interested to see how all the broadcasts and everything play off. Obviously, the GOAT is back where he belongs and everything, but it's going to be interesting to see just how all of this plays out. Because here's the thing: no matter what you say, at the end of the day, this is still going to be on the athletic director. This got to be, that's what you sign up for. And if this doesn't go well, then it is what it is. That's all I can say. But I do agree with the premise of Lev. I've never understood programs that don't sell themselves naturally that say, nope, we do not need you to do that. Okay, now the graphic stinks. Kobe Thiel, you stink. But now back to Arizona football, though. I think, and again, I don't think I'm going to get in trouble in this, and I do not care if I do. I think Arizona's got to feel pretty good about where they're coming out of camp, though, from an injury perspective. Not naming any names or anything, but overall, I think you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, unless there's stuff that we don't know about that happened in the last 4 or 5 days.
Yes, I think you got to feel fair.
I think they're fine, though. From what we understand, no season-ending injuries. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're fine.
Overall, now you mentioned Jared Small a little bit earlier. I don't want to make a small point of this, but I do think it's something that we do need. I'm so good today. Yes, but I think with Jared Small, we also got to talk about that. He's going to be fascinating to me on this. I do kind of wonder if he's somebody that, plays sparingly for a game or two and then kind of forces his way onto the field. I'm going to be interested to see what he could do. Maybe
like he starts with a small role.
A smaller role, and then he merits a stronger role after he tackles Jacory.
Yes. Yeah, I'm very curious by him. He came late. He's obviously got experience. He's been in college for 13 years, is it?
Right.
So, yes.
No, this is his 7th year.
He looks good, man. He really looked good in that last week and a half.
By the way, how does Cam Rising have another year after this?
Does he?
He got another year after this. I have no clue.
I think there's a way to go to college for 10 years if you put your mind to it.
Well, I just don't know how, because he's going to have an 8th year of college, and I do not.
Is it Cam McCormick? Didn't Cam McCormick? Isn't he in his 9th year?
Yeah, that is true. I just don't get how it works. Also, Wyoming. We need Wyoming to beat ASU this week, and I think there's a very legitimate chance that they do. That line's only 6.5. Skier.
I think there's a chance of that. I really do. I think they play very hard.
Oh, I hope that this last comment is not true. The third to last comment, but we will see. No,
no, that's not true.
No way. Okay. All right. But now
today.
when it comes to Arizona, like I said, 9 or 10 wins, period, point blank, because you should start out 2-0. And if you're 3-1, and we're going to talk about schedule more on Wednesday, then sure, I think you feel like you're in very, very good shape.
3-1, you're set up really nicely. 2-2, you're in the hole. 4-0, we are going to be so obnoxious, people will hate us.
Oh, yes, I can't wait for all of this to occur. Now, also, another thing, no better time to become a PHNX diehard, my friend. Let Eric Ruby make the case better than I can make the case.
Yes, we know this. The Die Hard membership card. You can carry that around and show it to everybody. Say, yes, I am a Die Hard. We all know that we deserve this. Access to all of our premium written content. Yes. We know this. The boss, Saul Bookman. Listen, the Easy Wildcats podcast. You want to get audio of Behind Enemy Lines? You can get that. And, of course, if you want to talk to me, you can go into the Discord lounge and you can hear all about the different fast food burgers that I like to eat. Yes. We know this. The boss, Saul Bookman. I am merely Mike Luke.
All right, that's very, very good. Now, Sheer, where can they find you during your stuff?
WildcatAuthority.com, Wildcat Scoop Podcast with Shelby. And very important, real quick, the Autograph app, download it. It's free. AZCat. Listen to this podcast, read a couple articles. You get 50 points, and you're entered into a contest. We get a Grok signed book, ball, and jersey.
Ooh.
I mean, it's free. Everything's free.
Scrumptious. I am very, very impressed by that. Also, with the Gronk Spike the like button. Oh, I do like that. Now, why don't we bring in the prodigious Kevin Thomas? He was not on the show today. We have to get Kevin Thomas on here. Hello, Kevin Thomas.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi there, Mike. What's up, Jason?
Kevin what are you looking for now that you're a big star on Shear's message board? What are you looking for from the Wildcats this season? What do you college football playoffs, win the Big 12? Kevin Thomas, you're a prodigious individual. Do you expect big results?
I think with the roster that they have, I think a college football playoff experience this year for the team and the fans would be fair, I think. Now, obviously, we haven't seen Brent Brennan, what his coaching style looks like out there when it's actually, chips are down. So I think after like the first 3 weeks, kind of like what Sheer was talking about, we'll better be able to accurately gauge our expectations. Now, if we come out and we're 4-0, I think the sky is truly the limit. But if we're kind of sputtering out of the gates, that really hamstrings us going forward.
Kevin, cut the crap. Tell me what you think. Don't tell me what you're going to see. Come on.
Honestly, I expect CFP. I think we have the talent for that. I mean, I think anytime you have a quarterback that is as good as Noah Fifita is, I expect playoff. And he has a receiver to back it up. It's not like he's around nobodies. So
did you know there was a guy last year who even until the last stages of the season wanted Jaden Delora to be the starter? Can you believe that?
No, I can't believe that.
I mean, seriously. And if you were actually talking to this person on a daily basis,
it'd be crazy, right? I mean, I don't know who could possibly think something as wild as that.
I do not know this either. But again, Andrew Blejo, I agree with this. He says, "Is it possible Noah is being vastly underrated nationally?" I agree with it.
No. How was he vastly underrated nationally?
Because why is he? Sometimes he's not even on a top 10 list.
Yes, he is. Mike, we disagree there.
All right. You've always been a Noah Fifita denier, though. This is true.
Yeah, there's 3 things I denied: Noah Fifita, Earth is flat, and Michael Luke loves Del Taco that much.
Yes. All right. No, Ryan Neal, I am going to find a publication that does not have him as a top 10 QB and to prove my point on that. But on that note, though, well over 200 lives today. Very much appreciate you all. Oh, yes. Now, we will be back again. Mondays. I got to tell everybody else this. I already told the great Shane Diefenbach. Kevin Thomas might be finding this out as well. Every Monday, the show with Skier is going to be at 2 o'clock because there is a presser. But every other day, it will be at 10:30. That we are off on Thursdays. Sheer, this is true.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There we go. That's it. But for everybody out there, you guys are all fantastic. Very much appreciate all of you. Jason Sheer, I appreciate you as well.
Oh, thanks, honey.
Yep, absolutely. Now, the great Kevin Thomas, the prodigious Kevin Thomas. Very much appreciate him as well. I am merely Mike Luke. Again, back the A. We will be back with you. If it merits our, whatever. All right, you've been listening to the AC Wildcats podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.